the partner. Yeah, so I'll just remove this day too. Okay, so I think probably some of you know already that the new, the new hybrid project name and even the existing virtual projects will be called Malaysian Youth Volunteer instead. So we'll let you guys know in terms of how is the decision process towards what's the pricing and then how will the change management be. So everyone here wouldn't be confused. And I think probably, okay, since we have quite less people here, then it's easier to have the conversation also. So here's the youth survey output. I think you guys who synergy with OGV more, you can straight away get it already, but in case you need, the link is here. And then the partner survey output is here also. So unfortunately, the partner survey only got I think 7 responses. So it's even less than the summer research one. So I think I would say that's the very big regret for NCR Commission also, that we only have 7 partner responses. So we couldn't actually tailor or customize much things based on the limited responses. But regardless how the responses is, I also did the analysis, which is here already. Oh, there's this kind of new window. Yeah. Which is this one here. So you can just click the link here, and then I also did the analysis output, and that analysis also contributed towards the final decision here. So definitely, now there's the very high COVID risk. So we also did the risk assessment and mitigation. Yeah, so I think all these parts are the parts that took the time, and scenario mapping in terms of what could have happened, what could be happening, what are the risks. Like for example, if let's say you cross state, then would increase the risk of COVID also. So that's something to take into consideration. Then come up with the decision factors to decide, okay, what are the things we want to prioritize. Okay, yeah. So the final decision is that virtual will still remain as the main mode of volunteering for all LCs. So it will be sort of like 90% of our projects will still be virtual, but then we would start to pilot around like 10% for hybrid. Of course, if more LCs take up hybrid projects, if you're LC interested, then it will become, like more hybrid projects. And then suggested to have LCs who is having more stable cash reserve to pilot the hybrid project. And of course, it doesn't mean that if your project or OP needs physical activities, then you cannot open. You can, yeah, you can definitely submit the audit to actually open the hybrid project. Okay, so the change management, which will have these 2 things, which the volunteer pricing, we have the pilot one, and I think also a few of you that I have talked to in terms of how is the response, in terms of while talking to partner, the responses, the rebranding of the MYV, and then the hybrid project model, how would it look like, and the project opening process. Okay, so let's go with the hybrid mode volunteering pricing. So we actually go and take back the past GV data, because GV is physical one, to break down what actually happened in the past. So here's the data background check that we took from 213 EPs. But of course, this piloting, we won't be expecting 200 so much. Yeah, and one project is aiming around 4 volunteers. Okay, yeah, so the data we get referred from here, but then what happened would be a bit different also. Yeah, so here you can see the average operation fee is actually around 1,600, and then accommodation is 300, transportation is 48 among the 6 weeks that was happening in the past. Okay, so you can see here, here's like quite high like here you can also get a picture in terms of physical would really need a lot of cash flow. Okay, then on Celine side, credits to Celine, she did all the breakdown in terms of the the 1,600, how is it being allocated? So here you can see the EAF is around 50%, profit strategy, project preparation, and then the value delivery, partner cost, all those things. So the numbers we plug in here. Yeah, and I think one thing to take note is that regarding accommodation, it would fluctuate more if we turn from 6 weeks to 4 weeks. But then regarding the other expenses would probably stay the same, especially for attraction consideration. Like let's say you set up physical booth, right? No matter if it's 4 or 6 weeks, the attraction cost is still the same. Yeah, so it wouldn't differ too much. Yeah, then moving on. So here's the Lbv Eaf projection. So the previous one is around this number. So I wouldn't go too detailed in terms of number wise. Then majority LC set around 1,000. Yeah, but then the average is 890. So why is this few numbers important? Because afterwards, yeah. So can we cover the cost with current LV pricing? So the bottom line here is we would have partner side and also the youth side to pay more the fee together. Okay, it's not a one-sided thing. And then keeping the reserve to be 10% and margin of safety to be 30%. So here is the breakdown of the expenses based on plugging in the data and then the EAF here. So the EAF data is being plugged differently. It's like taking the average of the current one. The context is different. And then the accommodation and the transportation wouldn't be inside, okay? To be very clear, yeah. Or else it'll get even way more expensive on the base price here. So here is like one project cost and including the COVID PPE also. And we put under the volunteer servicing one, okay? Yeah, moving on. So here we would use the pricing. So previously, I think if you guys still remember, previously is aiming for one project to be around 600 per volunteer, and then it's OP 350, the volunteer 250. So I think this is more on MYV, okay? Yeah, but I think you guys get the thing. Yeah, then accommodation and transportation are not covered. So based on this pricing and this amount, then can we cover or not? So the calculation is can, okay? So the margin of safety is here. So here would be the breakdown. Yeah, so according to the different distribution, how much would the cost be per person? And it's for volunteers, definitely need to be SDG, and then the accommodation and transportation is provided by OP, okay? So in order to open the hybrid project, the accommodation and transportation need to be covered by OP. Sorry, not covered, provided. So what I mean by provided is they provide, but they don't need to bear the cost. I mean, if they provide free, it would be the best, but they don't need to bear the cost because the cost would be counted on the youth then, okay? So they provide, but they don't cover, okay? This one is very important, provided for 4 weeks for your hybrid project. If you want to open a hybrid project, okay? So your volunteer will be paying around 200, OP fee is 300, like that, and we are aiming for 4 volunteers, yeah. So here for PBOX, to let you guys know, it's also aiming around this cost because we want to keep the base price for the youth side to be same. Yeah, it shouldn't change. So here, that's why FP side, so here, FP peeps, like for example, Alicia, then here will be the cost of Alicia and income. Okay, yeah, so the MYV pricing, so here would be the pricing itself, okay? So moving on is change management. Yeah, so the branding part. So I think this part I will just move a bit faster. If you want to look in terms of the business model, you can click this link and then go through, okay, the overview, like for you, for partner to see, okay, what is the value proposition, the business model canvas of the whole Malaysian youth volunteer, okay? So we consist of both virtual and hybrid. Yeah, and then it's 4 weeks, 10 to 15 hours per week. And then the relaunching would be next week, okay? So next week, you will get even more detail. But here, but that one is downscaled to all layers of member. But in commission call, it's for LCVPs only. Yeah, so that's why here we also have the conversation with you guys, okay? So here is more on the OGV side in terms of why do we need to do rebranding, and then how would it be promoted? Here more on the details, and then they will run through certain rebranding campaign. So this one I wouldn't, I would just skip through, okay? But if you're still interested, then you can hear from Julie towards the later explanation part. Yeah, and then the change management here. So I think for a few like IGV VPs here, especially for PBOX side, then I think EJ also collecting the key activities part. But again, this key activity is more on how we can customize for PBOX one. Then the NCR one is definitely aligning with partner, but if you want to go through, then you can go through. Yeah, moving on. I see a charge. Yes, the pricing is fixed already. So it will be 300 for our OP and then 200 for our volunteer. Okay, our MYV, Malaysian Youth Volunteer. Moving on. Yeah, then yeah, and a hybrid project model, and then the project opening process. So this will be similar on the project opening process, audit process. Yeah, then the more on the details, you can still throw the questions here, but if I don't have the answer, I'll be very honest with you. I don't have, and then I'll let Yijie know, and then would answer on the Q&A sheet, or maybe the one in the OGV one. It will be 9:30, sorry, not 9:45, because they make it earlier. So yeah, 9:30, then you can join already, which is the normal NCR Commission meeting end time, okay? 9:30, then you can join the OGV link. I also sent, and you guys can directly get from your OGV also. Yeah, and then moving on. Yeah, so then definitely within your LC, you need to align with the successors, the LCPE, all those things, okay, to see whether you want to have hybrid projects or not. And then it's suggested for current existing projects, okay? So this is more applicable for the P-box side, so wouldn't suggest a new P-box project to be hybrid. Yeah, and then for NCR, it's also recommended for your existing partners to not upskill, like adopt according to the hybrid. If let's say you have new NCR partners that directly want hybrid already, it's fine also. But again, need to keep in mind is that when you're working with a new partners, a lot of things are not confirmed. So there is the risk there. And again, the main mode of the volunteering would still be the virtual one, okay? Then project planning, open audit criteria, all those things. So here would also be the timeline. So now is first week, then next week we'll have the relaunching, the logo creation, the opening audit, and then the standards refreshment, all those things. So to break it down into network education, here would be the few things. And then to let you guys know also, so we would have this space not on commission meeting, but before commission meeting. Yeah, so for those that are in IGV and PDIGV or BDR, next week will be our last commission call already. For NCR, it's 2 weeks later. Yeah, I'll do a closing with you guys, but today is launching. Yeah, but for IGV and PDIGV, then next week will be our last commission call. And then the open audit launching, the hybrid project model launching will be, the time will be earlier. Yeah, and then, yeah, so the specific dates I'll send in the group to remind again. So here are the list of frequently asked questions. So like Sinan just now asked, that is the pricing fixed already? Yes, so after all the alignments, the research, the discussion, project cost, all those things, yeah, then we decided to go with, I'll say like 300 and 200, the distribution. Because we already found out that, okay, the minimum project cost would be 500 lah. Yeah, so I think a few things here, maybe I'll also go through. Yeah, so again, it's not encouraged to open a new project in hybrid mode. Yeah, and then will we prioritize any specific IGV projects? So I think maybe this one you can read through yourself, because here is for NCR Commission. Okay, what is the cutoff point? So if we realize that COVID situation is going to be serious, then definitely we will do alignment space with everyone, the change management. Yeah, but then the cutoff date is definitely to be confirmed for now lah. Yeah, and then this is more on the numbers part. Yeah, so I think it's also answered just now already. Yeah, but yeah, the 50% EAF thing. Oh, yeah. Okay, then does it mean 200 will not be the final pricing? So again, just now I say the pricing is fixed, right? So that one is for OP, okay? For OP is 300 fixed. However, the 200, the youth part, like just now I mentioned, right, is accommodation and transportation are not included. Yeah, so the base price is the same. However, the accommodation and transportation price for P-box, okay, would depend on the transportation and accommodation you manage to find. But we will set an upper limit. Yeah, but again, for your NCR OPs, we would suggest you guys to find OPs that can provide the accommodation, but then we can cover the expenses. Yeah, I mean, would be the youth cover lah. Yeah, and the best is, to get youth is to try to reduce the cost as much as possible. Yeah. And then would there be any limit? Yes, we do have limits here, because we want to take into consideration the physical activity, the potential COVID spread also. And then we do need to follow the SOP and guidelines. Yeah, so it's a LY initiative. Yeah, this one I wouldn't explain too much. Yeah, it's not covered. Yeah, but again, provided by OP, okay? Provided by OP. Yeah, and then this is not a GV business model, and you can run certain profit strategy also. Yeah, like for example, back in my LC days, we used the school bus to actually do the transportation, but that's more for P-box NCR, then we need to see the situation, okay? Yeah, and then not allowed to have a few, yeah, and then wouldn't have, because when we are promoting, it's like, it should be promoted in hybrid mode with hybrid pricing. So wouldn't suggest you to have virtual volunteers with hybrid pricing in a hybrid project like that. Okay, and then last few ones is yeah, key activities, then it will still consider be hybrid, even though you just have one key activities, and the safety guidelines will still need to follow. And also, are certain LCs encouraged to run hybrid project? Yes, we will be targeting more on the LCs that have more stable cash reserve and stable project management. Okay, but again, we'll be reviewed with everyone. So I think this is also effort towards the 4 MCs here. So give them a hug. Okay, virtual pricing model remain the same. Yes, virtual pricing model will remain the same. Yeah, so I think you can open mic to have the conversation.
Just a question. If the new partner would like to have a hybrid project right away, is it okay or actually not okay?
Okay, I think depends on how you define okay. So again, it's not encouraged, especially you never worked with this partner before, not encouraged. But if you really want to, you can submit project open audit.
Eugene, so for the free pricing is still the same, which is 150, and minimum is 4.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Virtual OT pricing, yes, virtual will be 150, hybrid is 300.
For the hybrid, is it the minimum the minimum Lbv is how much? Is it 4?
Yes, the hybrid minimum Lbv is 4, same with the virtual minimum Lbv is 4.
Then how, like, if our old partners, like, okay, for example, in JB we have Jeremiah and Berkeley, which is we used to have two Lbv, right? And then when it comes to hybrids, how we supposed to be changed to 4 or how?
I think this part was the part I missed out. I think regarding virtual, for this special scenario, OOP, the 2 Lbv one. So again, everyone else is 4. But for example, JB case, this special scenario, virtual will still be 2. But then the hybrid one, I think you can align with partner and then also align with me so that we can discuss and see which one would be the suitable one. But then it's still suggested to be 4. I think I can align with Celine and you can align with your FL to see whether it's possible to have 2. But I think hybrid, because it's more cost, transportation, all those stuff. So it's suggested to have 4 instead.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Sharon, for timing. It's like good time bitch. I'm like a bad time bitch in my meeting normally. Okay. How much? I don't know. Okay, I'll still open on the floor for like another 1 minute. Yeah. Me to digest. Okay, understood.
Oh, okay, I have a question now.
Oh, okay.
The slide 25, right? The P-box pricing model. What do you mean by FP 1200?
So I think here is because in order for the project to sustain, you need 500 per volunteer. Okay, meaning to run one project, like to cover the cost here, you would need to spend 2,000. Okay, for one realization. Yeah. So for the youth, they are paying 200. They would cover around 800 if you were to run a P-box project. But then you need to know you do have a gap of 1,200. And if let's say you are going for example, 5 EP, then it will be 1,500 like that. Then here we would use the funding we secured from FP to cover the costs.
Sorry, I got lost a bit. Sorry, I got lost a bit of the calculation. How again? Sorry, can you repeat?
Okay, this is 300 per volunteer. Okay, but this is sponsored by FP. So you need to find a FP to partner with you or sponsor your project to sponsor 300 per volunteer.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you didn't get FP for your P-box hybrid project, your project, and it still happened, right? Your project will go into deficit. For example, one project is spending around 2,000, right? Then you only have 800, which is from 4 volunteers. So you will go into a deficit of 1,200. You get?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Understand.
Because NCR, you have OP to cover the cost, but then for P-box, you don't have any, I mean, besides FP, you don't have any fixed partner to cover the cost.
Okay. Okay, understand. Thank you.
Okay, I think that's all. I hope it answers your question, but if let's say you have more questions, you can always feel free to ask. And I think later I will probably join the OGV one also, because later would have IGV consultancy, then maybe some other PE tips are joining. Then if you still want to ask, even including for NCR stuff, you can still approach me on. Okay, yeah, and you can always ask in the group or find me personally also. Okay, yeah, I think that's all for the Malaysian youth volunteer updates. Yeah, I was expecting more questions. Okay, yeah, but again, keep in mind the dates on this. Okay, yeah. Then I think announcement wise to let everyone know. So I think this one I'll pass to Listen first.
Okay, thanks, Eugene. Yeah, so hello, as we are going to in realization, some of us already start realization, right? And then some will be in realization. So yes, this is our LVV complaint management, which there's only minor changes for this winter compared to last summer. Yeah, so we have I believe that right now a lot of us will be busy with the realization as well as assignment. So that's how we have recording regarding to update everyone about the new changes in the LVV complaint management. So that's two recording. Okay, if you want to access the recording, you can click on the slide okay, this slide. Then there will be link there. Then in the link, there will be two recording. One is for newbie, so you can straight away utilize these resources to educate your new members about LVV complaint management. And for all this, right, the recording will be about what's new in this winter compared to last summer. Yeah, so that's about the update for LVV complaint management. And then I will pass it on to Eugene.
Hey, thank you, Listen. Yeah, so besides fulfilling the experience for your LVVs, to complete their experience, we also need to complete our partners' experience. Yeah, so here's some experience and post-experience reminders. So definitely remember to track the deliverables. I think this is more on the alignment with OP. Okay. Okay, yeah, ensure your youth really don't MIA, you found a good youth. And also partner showcasing. Yeah, so I think some of you guys have the deliverables on partner showcasing, and you can appreciate them on your own LinkedIn also, and send in the evaluation NPS forms. So again, we have the 3 forms, the pre, mid, and post, right? It's because to support you in terms of understanding your partner from time to time. Yeah, so for example, before the pre, you want to align with them, then you fill in the pre, and then you got to know, okay, what are the things that they might miss out, and then maybe halfway through, right, your volunteer or have some friction with your OP, but you may not know. Then through the mid NPS, then you can get this. And before you do the closing meeting, you can also get your sensing from the post NPS and also the impact report. Yeah, so definitely in order to build up the credibility and attract more OPs, you definitely need to have the testimonials. So we collect the testimonials from them and then also put it into our impact report. Okay. Yeah. Then regarding closing audit, it will be this Friday. So see you guys again this Friday. Regarding for summer project opening audit 14. Okay, I think wait, I think should be the right one. Yeah, it's the Right one. Yeah. Yeah. So we have the project opening audit also. Yeah. So for summer one, remember to align. I think both also need to align with successes. And we have ESP application. Okay, people. Yeah. So round 2 is already launched already. So you can click on this link to actually find the EST application. So this is the first round deadline. Sorry, I didn't update. Yeah. For you guys to know, so this time, if you're interested on partnership management, my site actually moved a lot of the stuff towards EJ side. Yeah. So I think you guys also know the. Okay, probably you don't know, but for NCR part would be moved under IGV. So really managing NCR as a IGV product. Yeah, so like let's say got any change management, like right now the hybrid one, right? Then NCR wouldn't be missed out also directly under EJ. Then if you want to, continue your NCR journey, then you can apply here. Then regarding a few other partners one, like Speak Up Account Manager, COP Account Manager, also be here. And if you are interested to, stay in your IGV zone overall, then again, here is also IGV. You can just click into it. Then if you're interested in BD one, then you can come find me also. Okay. And then definitely we have WNC. So it's by UPM. No, sorry, this is FASC application. So for LCVPs here, we welcome you to become the FASC for WNC also. Yeah. So remember to apply and impact more youth. And then this is regarding the WNC. So we are looking for 70 physical delegates. Okay. I think I also mentioned to you guys last time already, but just remind again, and this is by a UPM, which is from Lee Sin's LC. Too bad UPM existing members will need to go VOC lah. They can't come today, but I think definitely they look forward a lot towards seeing you guys in person. And the last part will be the B2B posting. I think that's all for the announcement. Yeah, I'll pass it to Lee Sin. And Lee Sin, does your part need to record?
Yeah, can.
Okay, then I'll just continue record. You share screen? Or I share?
I think can start, yeah, because there won't be any education, but more on working space.
Oh, okay. Then I'll just stop the recording and stop sharing. Thank you.